What's up, Ragin Nation? How's it going? This is Alex Yu, and you're watching a Ragin Ronin review. I got a review for you. Last week, I saw Free Fire, and Free Fire is an action comedy from director Ben Wheatley. It stars Cillian Murphy, Brie Larson, Armie Hammer, Sharlto Copley, as well as Jack Reynor. And this film is kind of like Reservoir Dogs from director Quentin Tarantino, except replace the witty, well-written dialogue that Quentin Tarantino wrote with gunfire. Lots of gunfire, a lot of gunplay, a lot of pointing guns at each other, and that's what you get. Sounds pretty exciting, right? It's actually not. This film has a running time of a little bit over 90 minutes. There's probably 20 minutes of setup, and then 70 minutes of straight, full-on gunfire. That's why this film is called Free Fire. And without giving too much away, essentially it's a gun deal, or rather an arms deal, gone bad. And from that point on, guns are pointing at each other all over the place, and it lasts for 70 minutes. And it's boring. It really tells you something when a film's setup is more exciting, or rather more interesting, than the action. The action consists of a lot of gunplay, which should be a lot of fun to watch. It should be exciting. It should be intense. It's not. I caught myself dozing off a number of times. I can't even remember how many times I dozed off, and I was awoken just because a gun went off again. And for a 70-minute shootout, you don't have full-on sequences. I'm talking about like full-on sequences of just non-stop action. You don't really get that. It's more like, boom. Oh, you hit me. 5 minutes later, boom. Oh, you missed. I'm gonna get you back. Little bit of dialogue. Few minutes later, boom. You missed. You know, the dialogue is so mundane. There's really no depth to any of it. It's just the guns doing all the talking. And it just really gets you so disengaged. I caught an advanced free screening, sneak peek screening of this film, and I'm so glad that I didn't pay for this film. As a matter of fact, I dodged a bullet because, no pun intended, I was about to pay for this film to watch it last weekend. I'm so glad I didn't. A lot of people were actually walking out of the theater just because nothing is happening. A lot of times they're shooting at each other and they keep on missing. There's a lot of misfires, and when they do shoot each other, I don't really care who lives or dies, just because that 20 minutes of setup just wasn't even enough to make me care for any of the characters. And I don't even know whose side is on whose side. Who's on whose side, because they just are pointing guns at each other like all day, and I've just lost track of who's who. Anyways, this film, I felt it could have had potential, because I actually like films that take place in one single location, because I find that you actually have to put more into the characters and the writing to keep it interesting. This is where they didn't do any of that and put no effort at all to make it interesting. All they tried to do is try to keep the audience engaged with gunplay, and it does not work. If I had to name one film that does a really good job that takes place in a small location, that's The Hateful Eight, because they combine a really great combination of action, suspense, mystery, and great characters with great dialogue in one single film with a 2 hour and 45-minute running time. As for Free Fire, they don't have the dialogue. The action is mundane. The characters are not even developed at all. And at the end, it is a film that is a complete misfire. It falls flat, and I left the theater just thinking that was a complete waste of my time. Now, I'll give it a couple of points for a decent setup, which kept me a little bit interested. And some of the comedy was funny, and they had some decent shootouts, some of it. But at the end of it all, it falls flat. I'm going to give it a 3.5 out of 10 just for effort, okay? And it's a film that I can't even recommend. I can't even recommend it on Netflix. You'll end up dozing off. 3.5 out of 10, which is quite generous. But anyways, that's all I gotta say in this review. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you take my recommendation. As always, if you enjoyed this review and you want to see more, hit that like button, subscribe to the YouTube channel, like me on Facebook, The Ragin Nation, and also follow me on Twitter at Ragin Nation. My name's Alex. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Peace.